why should we keep Donald Trump out of office? And there's a particular reason I'm asking, because there are some progressives who actually oppose Hillary Clinton so much that they're willing to oppose her even by supporting Donald Trump. Why would you go that far? And if not, why?
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, look, I don't want to downplay the significance of his neo-fascism,
Hmm.
right? I don't want to downplay the significance of the way in which he's unleashed kind of virulent racism and ugliness and the nativism that follows from the policies he embraces,
Hmm.
right? I mean, and that is ranging from issues around immigration, ranging to issues around how he understands who constitutes genuine Americans,
Right.
and more broadly. And I think an economic philosophy that will more than likely, even as he talks about ending these bad trade deals, I think at the end of the day, the attempt to sell him as a blue collar billionaire, right, is Orwellian,
Yeah.
in terms of the way in which folk are using language. So I think he's dangerous. I think he's dangerous economically. I think he's dangerous politically. I think he's dangerous militarily. And I think if he's elected, the most vulnerable among us, the people on the margins, the people in the shadows, will find themselves in even deeper misery. So I'm clear about that. And I'm clear about that he's a neo-fascist,
Hmm.
right? And so as my good friend Cornel West makes a distinction between the catastrophe of neo-fascism and the disaster of neoliberalism,
Yes.
right? And I think that's a distinction that's helpful in understanding why we got to keep Trump out of office. Because at the end of the day, we want to keep track of the least of these.
Hmm.
We want to keep track of their conditions, and we don't want to create a set of circumstances where what is already a difficult a situation becomes even worse.
So later on in the interview or the debate, Amy Goodman asked you the question that I have a problem with, that I can't answer myself. She asked you, who do you want to win? And you answered with a negative. You said that you don't want Donald Trump to win, and you couldn't quite bring yourself to say the opposite of that cover of the what you would expect the other response to be, which is I want Hillary Clinton to win. You weren't
Right.
ready to say that. I want to ask you this. It's I don't know if there's an answer to it, but I have to ask it. At what point, what could Donald Trump say or do that would make a Professor Glaude say, I want Hillary Clinton to win?
I don't think he could say anything, to be honest with you. I think part of what I was trying to do, at least rhetorically, is to say at any cost, we need to keep Donald Trump out of office.
Hmm.
But that doesn't amount to me supporting Hillary Clinton,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? I mean, it de facto, it leads to, I mean, people will say it's a difference that doesn't make a difference, right? But I'm not endorsing Hillary Clinton.
Hmm.
I just can't see myself ever doing that, given who she is, no matter how they try to rebrand her as
Hmm.
a change maker. I see her as the poster child, as I said, of the corporate wing of the Democratic Party. She is committed to neoliberalism. She is a hawk. Her foreign policy extends, in my view, the imperial arm of the United States. So what I would say is that the neo-fascism of Trump is such that we need to continue to organize to keep him out of office. And as we're organizing, we have to let Hillary Clinton know that even though she will be elected by default,
Hmm.
that it's not because we support her, it's
Yeah.
because we resist him, and that we're organizing in such a way and we're voting in such a way to let her know that this is not a vote for her or for her policies, but a vote in some ways for a more radical vision of democracy. Now that sounds confusing, and it sounds like I'm waffling, but I think at the end of the day, Brother Ben, what I'm trying to do is to figure out how do we avoid what happened in 2008.
Mm.
What happened in 2008, you had all of this grassroots energy organizing around the Iraq War. We had hundreds of thousands of Americans getting in the streets. We had millions of people around the country or around the world organizing against the Iraq War. You had folks challenging the economic policies of George W. Bush. If you look at how people were talking about George W. Bush, the rhetoric was as strong as the rhetoric is in some ways around Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And what happened is Barack Obama jumped in front of that energy, and he became the object of the organizing. And people said, what we need to do at any cost is to keep a Republican out of office, get him in there, and then we could hold him accountable. And so all the energy was directed to getting him elected, not knowing that once he got elected, there would be active efforts to demobilize, that organizing energy. So instead of us throwing our organizing energy into electing Hillary Clinton, I think we need to organize in such a way, vote strategically, vote down ballot, get people to come in to turn out in massive numbers, voting down ballot. If you're in the swing state or a battleground state, vote for Hillary Clinton. If you're in a red state, leave the ballot blank or vote your conscience. If you're in a decidedly blue state, do the same, right? And part of what will happen is that organizing effort in order to implement this strategy will then carry over once she's in office, right? And so it won't be the case that now she's in office, now we have to start organizing and mobilizing. No, we're organizing and mobilizing during the election itself.